Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So the tutorial today is on how to cut this kimono jacket. The first step you're going to do there is fold your fabric into two according to the wideness of your shoulder, that is the wideness of your sleeve. So the next step is to mark out your length. The length there I'm using is 48 plus 2 inches for hemming allowance is 50. And for the back, the neckline is 3 by 1 inch, 3 for the width, 1 for the depth, which is a standard measurement. So the next step is to measure your sleeve, and then that's 21.5. So from that point, you're going to measure your round sleeve as the wideness of the sleeve, and the wideness of the sleeve there divided by 2 plus 1 inch, because you are going to join on both sides, the shoulder and then the down part. So remember to mark out add your 1 inch allowance. So you rule the straight line. From that edge, I brought it backwards by 4 inches. I ruled a straight line to bring out the sleeve shape. Next step is to mark out your hip line. Your hip line is usually 10 inches your half length. So if my half length there is 18, and 18 plus 10 inches gives me 28. So that's my hip line. Usually standard. And then you mark out 3 lines, 1 inch above that line and 1 inch below. This helps to give your hip curve, make that side straight, not pointed. If you're having issue with having a bulging hip when you're sewing your dresses or your skirts, just use this method. 1 inch below, mark out 1 inch below that line and 1 inch above. Then on that line, make your hip divided by 4, whatever you get. Mark out the straight line on those 3 lines. Then you connect your waist to the first line, then you connect the down part to the rest. Don't touch the center like you see in the video. So I divided my hip by 4, and then you see me marking a straight line on those 3 lines. So the bubu is wide, so I added 3 inches for ease allowance. For the wideness, it's a free bubu, and then ½ inch for the seam allowance. And then I rule a straight line on those 3 lines. I'm going to connect the 4 inches to the one above. Don't touch the middle hip line, and then give it this curve. I didn't know my hand was covering it, so it's just a curve I gave it there. Then for the flow line too, I made it the same thing, the same measurement there. I brought it down and then mark it out. I did this because I didn't want the jacket to be too wide. I wanted it a bit smart, so I didn't want to bring it out too much. So you can do whatever you feel like doing. But I felt that's okay. So we move to the front. Now for the front, I subtracted 1.5 inches because it has a band, a collar, down a collar, and I didn't want to remove that white design. So I just subtracted the 1.5 and left 1.5 for my neckline, because I still wanted to maintain the 1.5. And then for the depth, I made it 13 inches and just brought it down like a V. From that 1.5 to the 13, just a V shape, and that's all. And I opened it. That's all. So the next step there is to sew. You bring your shoulders together, measure ½ inch and sew. Right side facing right side. And then measure ½ inch and sew. As you can see the line. See where my hand is. So you see me pinning the shoulders. The next step there is to cut out the jacket collar, and for the jacket collar the width is 2 inches, but on my fabric I separated 1.5 because I was going to use 1/2 inch to sew, and I'm not cutting with pattern, I'm cutting directly on my fabric. 1 inch added, that is 1/2 inch for sewing the collar, and then 1/2 inch to replace the 1.5. So that's what I'm doing there. I made it 2.5, then it's on fold, so that's 2.5 times 2, that's 5 inches. So the width is 5 inches. Fold it, it gives you your 2.5 back. The next thing is to cut the band on your round sleeve. The band on my round sleeve is just 3.5, 3 inches, then 1/2 inch for sewing it. So that's pretty much all. The next step there, after joining the shoulder, is to sew your pockets. That's quite easier than joining it before sewing. So from the shoulder I marked out 18 inches, and then from the side I made it 2 inches. I marked out 2 inches. So I placed it 18 by 2 from the center front, not the side, sorry, from the center front. The width of my pocket is 10 inches, and the length of my pocket is 12 inches. I added 2 inches extra, which is 4 to make it 14, and that 2 inches was the one I folded at the top, folded the hemming allowance. But the length that I bent everything 1/2 inch, ironed it 1/2 inch, sorry. Ironed 1/2 inch in on all sides, but at the top I folded it by 2 inches for the hemming allowance. So it's the same thing to the other side of the jacket. The same way I placed this pocket, that's the way I did the other side. Just make sure you pin before sewing. If you have the habit of that, you avoid loosening your stitches because everything is in place. So always have the habit of pinning before you sew, no matter how professional you think you are, especially on something like this, on a pocket that can shift. Or if you're still learn how to pin and sew, so that you avoid loosening and then avoid the frustration of loosening. Next step is to join your sides. So you're going to join it together in the wrong side of your fabric, and then join it by 1/2 inch all the way from the top, which is from the sleeve side to the bottom, and then iron. Please have the habit of sewing and ironing. When you sew your band on your sleeve, 1/2 inch round. After folding and ironing, I've placed it 1/2 inch round. So I'm going to measure, join, and then sew it like you see. So I'm done joining the band. That's it, like every other band. The next step, then hem the down part, the flow line of your jacket. Mine is 2 inches. I don't know, you might add whatever you want to add and then sew it. And after you're done with hemming, you're going to fix the collar of the jacket. This is me measuring it around. I'm going to measure round and then cut what I have there, the length of what I have there. Remember, it is 2.5 inches, which is 5 inches folded into 2. And then sew the down part like you see there. So it's 1/2 inch. Iron, and you place it right side to right side and sew 1/2 inch all the way down to the other side. Next step there is to iron. Just iron to make your work neat. So that's pretty much all. If you have any questions, feel free to put in the comment section and click the like button. Thank you.